Hello Beanies, and welcome back to another video. As you could already tell by the title of this video, in this video we are going to be learning how to color with colored pencils. Now I just want to say a disclaimer, everybody colors with colored pencils differently. This is just how I use colored pencils and my art style. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Here's all the colors we're going to be using. First, I'm going to draw a person so that we have a nice template to draw and color on. I always like to start with the lightest color first and then add darker layers on top. Some people like to add all the shadows first and then color with the lighter colors after, but I think that works better with like digital art and stuff. I am going to add my lightest color first and then add all the darker colors next. I always pick my skin tone that I'm going to be using, and then I choose a lighter and a darker color for the lighting and then for the shading. I never shade with black. This is something that you have probably heard many times before, but I would just avoid black altogether for shading, unless of course your art style includes like really dark shading. Like unless it requires that, then I just recommend that you use like purple or even reds and blues to shade in the parts where you want there to be shadows, because it always looks better and blends better into the skin than black would. I like to usually think of it as a light bulb and it's shining onto the face from the right, so that means that your lighter colors should be on the right, and then if there is not a light hitting the face from the left, then you want to add all your shadows on the left. Wherever there is light, there will be shadows. Your face is not two-dimensional where it's just a flat surface and there's gonna be no light hitting specific parts and then shadows in some places. No, it's not a flat surface, so it's going to hit the face differently in different areas depending on which parts of the face stick out. Why are you being loud, Mr. Sir? Oh my gosh. But do you have to disturb me while I'm doing a voiceover? Can you please, like, not? Thank you. While I'm on babysitting duty, I just want to point out that coloring with colored pencils can get kind of frustrating when it has, like, lots of lines in it, kind of, but that's the beauty of blending. I feel like once you blend it, it's, like, super smooth, a nice smooth surface, and you don't have to worry about all like the extra lines and imperfections in the pencil. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but basically when you color something in, sometimes you can see like all the strokes, and like that's not good. Like, so of course you just blend it at the end and it tends to look a lot better. So like I said before, I don't like to blend with white because it kind of takes away the true vibrant pigment of the color pencil. But like coloring with the lightest color that I used here, it definitely helps when blending because the color is already being used, therefore it doesn't really take away the pigment of the actual drawing. I don't really know how to explain this, guys. I'm not the best teacher, but hopefully that makes sense. Next, you want to make sure that all the bounce light is going to be on the right side of the face, of course, and then just color the middle of the face with the color that you want your character to be or the object that you're coloring in. I'm just going to speed up the process because hopefully that makes enough sense. So as you can see, the character looks nice and golden brown. So of course, if I would have went over it and blended it with white, it probably would have took away some of the pigment. But I just went back over it with my lightest color and blended it that way. So when you're looking at the face, of course, you have your shadowed area and you have the bounce light area. Makes sense, right? Now, of course, you can go over it and fix it as much as you want. So now that I have showed you the basics of how the face is going to look like and the difference between shadows and bounce light, we're just going to do a nice, simple, quick character, and I'm going to show you how I color in my characters. So I'm just going to add a basic head so that we can get started. Of course, I'm going to show you how to color in the skin, and then I'm going to show you how to color in the hair. And of course, I'll add some shoulders and the neck, of course, or else we'll just have a floating head. So let's hop into it. Now, of course, you add a layer of black line so that it makes coloring easier. Now, of course, I like to start by adding the lightest color first. I don't know if it's just me, but after you finish blacklining your characters, they always look so much creepier than when they were in pencil. Maybe it's because the eyes aren't like colored in. I don't know, maybe it's just something about that blank stare. So first you're going to add your lightest color for the base, and then add all the extra layers on top of it that are the darker colors. You always want to start with the lightest color, like I think I mentioned before, and then go in with all your darker colors. I usually just like to shade in with darker colors where the skin touches another thing like the hair or the neck, you know, it's always going to cast a shadow. But when you're coloring in the shadows, I always like to keep in mind where the light is coming from. Maybe it will help if you draw a little light bulb showing where the direction of the light is coming from, but I think it just really always helps. So then, of course, your skin isn't just one solid color with a bunch of shadows. There's going to be other pigments like maybe reds or pinks. I mean, I would hope your skin isn't super red. That would be an issue, but there's always other colors besides just brown or tan. You know, there's always going to be other colors. So I like to always add blush because it always makes the characters look cute and it always livens up their face and adds extra color. Most of the time, I like to match the blush with the lips so that the face isn't totally mismatched and everything kind of goes together and complements each other. I always go in with my shading color to color in the double eyelid and the aegyo underneath the eye. I just want to make sure that you keep in mind that even though you're shading the face in a darker color, there's still going to be some type of light hitting it, so make sure it's not too dark or else it just isn't going to look right. But then I always draw the little triangle of light that hits the cheek. I don't really think I did it that well on here, but I hope that you can kind of see what I was trying to do. But next we're just going to color in the lips. I like to kind of make them look more watercolory because I just think it's so cute, but it also adds like a softer look. But I just love coloring in lips. I mean, if you know me and watch my videos a lot, I think you'll kind of catch on that I love to draw lips because they're just so like luscious, you know, like, is it just me? But like, I don't know, they're just satisfying to draw and they're satisfying to like color in and stuff. So I always enjoy coloring in lips and adding all the fun little details. Also because it's just so cool that the rest of your skin is like one color, but your lips are just like a different color. I don't know, I sound kind of weird. I'm just rambling on at this point. But yeah, I like to color in lips. But drawing more toward the end of shading in the face and moving on to blending, I just want to point out that you want to make sure that when you are coloring softly and then working your way toward the middle by pressing a little bit harder. Like what I did with the blush, I usually start by making the center kind of a lighter color and then branching my way out, or else you won't get that nice smooth transition between colors like you usually want. Now I am just blending in with the lightest color that I used as the base so that I can smoothen out all the surfaces, and then we'll move on to the eyes because she looks kind of creepy right now, but
stop it. Get some help.
We don't talk about that, do we? No, we don't. The one thing about black liners is that you can go back over it with like good color pencils and it'll kind of lighten the black and make it look more like the color that you put over top of it. And I guess that can work to your advantage. But also here, I feel like I made the left eye a little bit too like dark, a little bit too red because it looks kind of creepy. But it kind of comes together, you know, your eye isn't purely white, so it kind of has some different undertones. But I think the eyes did turn out pretty good, and then I'll show you a more in-depth version of how to color in eyes later on in the video, as well as lips, and then we will do a review on how to color in and shade in the skin. So of course, I just take some time and add in any extra details that need to be added in. When it comes to your colors, you never want it to be too dark. Try and keep it subtle, you know, unless you have really dramatic lighting, which requires you to shade in with darker colors because there's more shadowing. But of course, just always take what the lighting actually looks like into consideration. But here, I'm just starting the hair. For years now, I have been struggling trying to draw hair. So this is kind of just how I draw hair in like a quick little version. I'm not really going to go in depth. Maybe I'll make that another video, drawing different types of hair. Comment down below if you want me to do that. And I don't know, with hair, I just like to keep in mind that there's gonna be some lighting and shine if you have nice healthy hair, and it's not just gonna be one matte color. And you want to kind of color in all the different strands and sharpen your pencil so that it gives you nice clean strands. But in the middle, you want the hair to look kind of like very shiny and stuff. And then of course there's going to be shadowing where the neck is and in the back of the hair. So right now I just kind of made her hair kind of red because I think, you know, it really complements her skin tone and her lips and her blush and her eyes. So you can kind of make the hair be whatever color you want, but I like to usually relate it to the skin tone of the character. But that's just kind of how this turned out. And then of course I highlight the highlights a little bit more and make it more shiny. And then you can always go back over it with a white gel pen to add extra shine to the hair, but of course don't overdo it or else it'll look kind of weird. I do really like drawing with traditional art. I think with digital art, you always have your pros and cons, you know. Sometimes I just want to draw digitally and learn how to draw digitally just because, you know, first of all, you have an undo button and that is literally the most helpful thing in the world. And of course, AI and stuff can help you with your art. But I always just like the traditional art aspect, first of all because I don't have equipment to do digital art, and if I'm gonna be one of those people who is like drawing on Ibis paint with their finger, you know, I can't do that. So I mean, congrats or kudos to whoever can actually do that, but I can't, okay? I'm not that skilled, okay? But I just love how relaxing it is using paper, and it really kind of challenges your brain to figure out how to use different colors that you wouldn't be able to use with digital art because you don't have a backspace, you can't erase once you add a certain amount of layers, and it's just fun. But I don't know, those are just my thoughts. But of course, everyone just has different skills. I guess it's kind of just because I draw traditionally all the time, so that's what I'm used to and I can't really break out of it. But some of you guys are just really good at digital art, and it just makes me like honestly jealous sometimes. I'm like, why doesn't my art look like that? But I'm like trying to remind myself it's because you're drawing traditionally, they're drawing digitally. Everything looks so much smoother, the colors aren't blotchy. But those are just my thoughts. Now I'm going to do the promised review. So first, this first circle is going to be a review of how to color in skin. Of course, the person above this is the cute little template of what it looks like, but I'm just gonna show you that again. And then this is for the hair. Just kind of add like strokes, add your darker color first and then go in with the lighter colors, and of course sharpen your pencil to make sure the strokes are nice and clear, and you can go in with your highlights later. And then in the next circle, it's a review of how to do blush. So when you are coloring in blush, you always want to make sure that You start with the lightest color, of course, and then go in with your blush colors, and then when you're layering on other colors, add the browns and the darker colors on top of it, and then go back over it with your lightest color at the end. And then it always comes together nicely because you have a nice lightest color as your undertone, and then you're just layering on top of it and then blending at the end, and it always has a nice smooth finish. You can choose pinks or reds, whatever looks best on your character. Next is the lips. I always love drawing lips. I think you guys already know that. I think I already said that in the video, but I love drawing lips because they're so vibrant and pretty, you know? So like, you want to make sure that the lips are shaded well. You kind of want to add like a circle of lighting on the bottom lip, and then on the top lip, you kind of want to ombre out and make it lighter as it goes toward the edges of the lips, or you can do a nice matte color. And then add your highlights at the end, which always liven up your drawings. And then next is the promised eye tutorial. So this is how I draw eyes more in depth. So I kind of just add a ring of a dark color, the darkest color you're going to use on the bottom, and then go back over it with the brown. And it always looks nice that way. I'm not good at explaining, but I hope that made sense. I apologize in advance for my horrible tutorial skills. I don't feel like I'm very good at teaching and showing people how to do stuff, but I really hope that was helpful. So I think you guys already know it's coming. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I love you guys so much. My life has been getting a lot busier. I just got a job and I've been kind of on and off with you guys, posting a lot of shorts because that's all I've really had the time to do. I promised you more videos over the summer, and I'm gonna try and do more videos over the summer. Please comment down your feedback if you have anything to add in the comment section. I always love you guys' feedback. You guys are always so loving and supportive. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can become a beanie. I love you guys so much. Thank you for bearing with me, and I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I love you. Bye.